Okay, so let's talk about sus chords. All right, sus chords. We can have a sus4, we can have a sus2. I'm not going to talk about sus2 chords in this DVD. I talk about it in the blues DVD. I'm not going to talk about all that much. I'll just basically tell you a sus2 is basically, instead of playing the third, you play the second, which is 9, and it usually resolves back to the third. What I'm going to focus on more, though, is the sus4 chord. So here's my basic C major triad, C, E, and G. The sus4 is, instead of playing the third, E, I suspend it and play the fourth, which is F. Right? That's a popular rock pop sound. For C7, here's my C7 chord, C, E, G, and B flat, root, third, fifth, flat seventh, okay? Sus4 is replacing the fourth with replacing the third with the fourth, okay? So C7 sus4 is C, F, G, B flat. There's some nice fancy ways in which we can voice it, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. This is just basic. Now, let's take a look at the rock pop sus chords. Rock pop, a lot of times, is just going to be playing octaves or roots and fifths in the left hand, okay? We want to keep it open. We don't want to have like a lot of root 7s or root 3s in the left hand for a rock pop kind of sound, right? It's going to sound a little bit weird. So here's my nice octaves down here, and here's my C7 sus4. Here's another way of doing that. That's C7 sus4. See how I have the 7th in there? I also have 9, right? Here's a real basic one. See what I'm doing? This is C, F, G, C again, right? Notice how I resolve down in that third eventually. That goes for all these. The first one again. The second one. See how I'm resolving down in the triad there. Third one again. Okay, and now finally the fourth one here is G, C, D, F. Resolve down to the third. Now, if you want a real nice, pretty sound, like maybe you're playing in church and you want to improvise a little bit, or you want to make up a song that sounds really nice, check this out. So all I'm doing is going back and forth between these two chords. But it sounds really nice. Left hand, I'm just arpeggiating, right? But holding down the notes as I go. So it's just root, fifth, root, right? And that's that chord, that fourth chord there, right? It's right in measure 4, the third beat of measure 4. And what if I kept going? Just invert that chord. Oops, sorry. So you see how easy it is just to take this chord and just arpeggiate it. Just move it around, right? Nothing fancy here that I'm doing, right? If I want to get fancy, I can do something along the lines of like. Using dynamics, and here I'm just doing root, root, fifth, root, 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 fifth, root. Just alternating back and forth between these two. Okay. All right. Now the jazz sus chord. Notice how what we're doing is we're adding on that 13. Okay. like this as well. Root, 5th, 7th, 9, sus4. I can do that. I can add 13 in there, right here. I can also do this, root, 5th, 7th. Now this is an interesting thing. It's an interesting way of looking at this. There's two ways of, well actually maybe a couple, three ways of looking at the sus sound. Go to the 5th of whatever chord you're trying to make a sus for. So say C sus, the 5th is G. Make a minor triad right there, okay? And then build a chord on each one of those. Actually, I'm sorry, make a minor 7th chord on that note, okay? And then just keep moving up the chord. So you see how I have G minor 7, and then I go to B flat major 7, or D minor 7. So say I'm going to do it somewhere else. Let's do it on F. Go to the 5th, make a minor 7 chord. There I go. That's an F sus. Put an F down here. I get F sus sound. I can move up to the next one, E flat, make a major 7 here. See, I just stacked a major 3rd up here. And then one more time. This time it's a minor 3rd up top. Right, back to C. So it's easy to make that sus sound. Just think, you know, go to the 5th, make a minor 7th chord right there. There's your basic sus sound. That would sound perfect, okay? The other one is go to the flat 7th, make a major 7, or go to the 2nd and make a minor 7 chord. If you're doing them with just the left hand, obviously, you know, you could just play B flat major 7 or G minor 7. C in the bass, it's going to get that sus sound. Now the other one that I want to talk about, because I really love this chord and I use this a lot, is this sus chord with a flat 9. Okay, it's a great sound, and it's a nice way of like get some motion there without having to like really move all that much. Just like what I was doing in that, you know, in that example there with the nice little pop example to get some improvisation. So if I'm here on my C7 sus, right, I can do that, throw in my flat 9. You see all I'm doing down here is just doing this pedal. Okay. So sus sounds, well, it's a suspended sound. It's really nice. It gives you that nice suspension, and it's kind of uplifting, and it suspends the harmony for a little bit. So it gives you time to do something else, and that's typically how it's used. You know, in rock or pop, you know, you have this sus, and then finally, then you resolve, okay? Same thing in jazz, okay? If we're in the key of C, a lot of times you'll find it on the 5 chord. You know? So the suspension helps make it so that you can play around with that harmony a little bit more rather than just, you know, that dominant 7th chord, it like really wants to move. Whereas the sus, you can extend it a little bit more before moving, okay? So have fun with the sus stuff.